Mashilo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Speaker, and we welcome the motion raised, the member statement raised by Honorable Member here. Well, without contradicting to yourself, Honorable Member, if someone stole or perceived to have stolen, can't simply resign. When you resign, it's a shortcut of running away. You got to face the consequence. As you said that the DC can only happen when someone is still in the employment of the institution. We can recover the money from the pension when someone is still in the institutions. We can do investigation when someone is still there, easily so. So for that reasons, I assume Councillor did well without having seen the details of the report by rejecting the resignations. Instead, the calling of investigations is indeed appropriate. Thank you very much.
Honorable Kubi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Economic Freedom Fighters to express our deepest outrage on the brutal killing of a police officer from Tonga Police Station in Komazi, allegedly murdered by her husband. This horrific act is yet another painful reminder of a relentless plague of gender-based violence and femicide that continue to consume our communities. Honorable Speaker, the fact that even a woman in uniform mandated to protect society are themselves unsafe to their own homes should shock this House in the edge action. We cannot normalize a community where women live in constant fear and where perpetrators, often intimate partners, commit this crime with shameless impunity. The EFF calls on the provincial government to take decisive and immediate steps to address the growing wave of gender-based violence in the province. This must include strong protection measures for women, more effective support for victims who report domestic violence, and coordinate provincial strategy that brings together the police, health service, social worker, and community structures. The crisis of violence against women demands action beyond statement and empty promises. We cannot continue to allow women to live under the constant threat of violence and fear. We further call for a thoroughly and uncompromised investigation into this matter to ensure that justice is delivered without delay or fail. The EFF sends heartfelt condolences to the family, colleagues, and community of the fallen officer. To every gender GBV survivor, we see you, we support you, we stand firm with you. I thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Sope.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let's welcome the member statement from Honorable Tribi. Indeed, gender-based violence is the business for everyone. It's not only for business for the police, but we know to what he has raised. Indeed, we'll work together with the community health workers. As of now, we're working with SAPS, justice and community health workers and social work. We will fight this case up until it is concluded. We want to call upon everyone to participate, to assist in creating this awareness, as Honorable Tribi has indicated, that we must talk to our brothers and sisters that gender-based violence, it must end. And indeed, it must end, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Masango.
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on behalf of the DA to deliver a member statement. Honorable Speaker, on Tuesday, December 2, the contractor which supplied and installed a mini substation a year ago in Tabachewu resorted to repossessing the mini substation. The mini substation is estimated at 1 million rand, which services 80 businesses that employ hundreds of residents in Tabachewu. Concerningly, business in town are now unable to operate at full capacity due to the municipality non-payment. This has become a norm in Tabachewu as the municipality keep failing them. It is not the first time that Tabachewu municipality struggles to pay a service provider for service rendered. In 2014, the municipality signed a contract with the China Synergy Electric Energy Engineering Company to build a substation called Duma after its former mayor. Selina Mashego led a delegation to China, raised in 2020 to offset the escalating cost of this contract. The DA turbocharge plan will effectively tackle the electricity crisis in Tabachu by providing affordable and reliable energy supply that will enhance economic growth. We call upon the MEC of Coxstar to provide leadership and assist in the resolving the outstanding payments that leave residents and business in the dark. I thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Mashilo.
Well, thanks, Honorable Speaker. We welcome the member statement from Honorable Masango. Indeed, we agree with him that action must be taken and will do so in assisting the said municipalities to give the services that is truly required by the community of Tabachu. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mashiane.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of Action SA to deliver a member statement. Honorable Speaker, Action SA wishes to bring to the attention of this House deeply disturbing information arising from a listening session held with former SAPS reservists recently. We have received credible allegations that the personal numbers of former reservists who have never been absorbed as permanent SAPS employees are still active within the SAPS payroll system. These personal profiles allegedly show salary payments that the reservists have never received. As a result, SARS is taxing phantom salaries while government systems classify these individuals as employed. The consequences are severe. Former reservists are being denied access to the 370 social relief grant and RDP housing. Some are being turned away from public health care facilities and told to use private medical clinics because they appear as state employees. Others have lost jobs opportunities because the system reflects them as earning income from SAPS. This points to what may be large-scale administrative abuse, identity misuse, or even payroll fraud within SAPS systems, with devastating implications for vulnerable former reservists and their families. Action SA calls for an immediate forensic investigation into personal entries, payroll audits, SAPS HR authorizations, and SARS tax submissions associated with these cases. We further call for agent intervention by the MEC for Community Safety and Security to ensure that no reservist is denied grants, healthcare, or employment due to fraudulent and incorrect data. The dignity and livelihoods of these former reservists must be protected, and those responsible for this shocking abuse of public systems must be held accountable. I thank you.
Honorable Mashilo.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me welcome the member statement by Honorable Mashian. Well, look, Honorable Mashian, the laws of the country, the matter might not necessarily need investigation. Anyone receive money from the state or from government through your bank account, that money immediately registered. And when it gets registered, it then prevents the person those benefits that we have mentioned. It's like the 350. What should happen without court investigation is indeed dealing with the matter in our national parliament, which all of us were represented, to put the amendment in that regard. Because whether we get 350, it does affect those individuals, so as the reservists, because they get paid from the state coffers. Thank you very much.
Honorable Weber.
Honorable Speaker, I rise in desperation, I want to repeat, in desperation, to deliver a member statement on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus and the countless motorists suffering under the rogue taxi patrol intimidation. What began in Mpumalanga has now spread across South Africa. Armed groups roaming our roads, harassing citizens, demanding arbitrary fines, and paralyzing traffic. This is not regulation, this is organized lawlessness. Despite unmistakable evidence, including national broadcasts showing patrols blocking intersections, authorities have failed to act. Even our own staff are not spared. In July, my personal assistant narrowly escaped when a taxi patrol tried to pull her over near the R541 near Badplaats. Just this month, the councillor coordinator in my office endured the same ordeal on the R37, threatened for transporting a domestic worker, accused of stealing taxi fare, and nearly stripped of her keys. Madam Speaker, isikhathi sesifikile manje. Asikwazi ukuvuma lo mkhuba. Le nkunzi sifuna ukuthi siyibambe emponjweni manje siwisa. Asikwazi ukuvuma ukuthi laba bantu basihlukumeze sonke isikhathi lapha emgwaqweni. The time to act is now. Enough is enough. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Thomo.
No, thanks, Honorable Speaker. Maybe let me firstly welcome the members by Honorable Weber, but also indicate that if such is happening, we are extremely disappointed, but also to confirm that we have stronger relations as the department with the associations, taxi associations, in particular Santaco and NTA. We are going to elevate this matter, but in my view, it's a criminal matter. The members that were affected, in particular members of the community that were affected, I think they need to lay criminal charges so that we can take this matter forward. But we note the statement and welcome it. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Executive statements. I am informed that there are no executive statements. Motions without notice. Are there any motions without notice? Honorable Mwala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the ANC, the ANC has noted with sign of relief the guilt verdict of 2 apartheid police for the murder of Keifas Nyoka. Noting that the pair who are the former sergeant, Abraham Engelbrecht and Peter Stander, were found guilty of premeditated murder of Nyoka, a student activist, and a member of Congress of South African Student COSAS. The state has proven beyond reasonable doubt that on the eve of the 23rd of 1987, the pair met to discuss and killed Nyoka. In the early hours of the 24th of August 1987, the 2 and other members of the reaction unit stormed Nyoka's homestead while he was sleeping with 3 of his friends. The friends were removed from the room. Nyoka was therefore brutally shot 9 times and he died on the scene. Honorable Speaker, the ANC therefore welcomes the guilty judgment, though the wheel of this justice took too long to finally roll. The same can be done about Chief Albert Luthuli. The ANC therefore further look forward to seeing justice on other unresolved cases of our former revolutionaries and activists who died at the hands of apartheid police. Here we are talking about the name of Steve Bantu Biko and Nokuthula Simelane, just to mention the few. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion agreed to.
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Fenyane.
No, Mr. Speaker. I rise on behalf of Umkhonto weSizwe Party to move that this House notes with profound sadness the tragic accident on the road R33 between Amsterdam and Piet Retief, which happened on Monday around 4 p.m. The tragic accident involving a bus which overturned claimed 5 lives and left more than 20 people sustaining injuries. Honorable Speaker, it is worth noting that our roads are regarded as notorious and the number of accidents in Mpumalanga are increasing. The conditions of our road infrastructure does not make the situation better. It is alleged that the driver lost control of the bus and it went off the road. The authorities are still investigating the cause of the crash. Our hearts go out to the families and loved ones affected. Honorable Speaker, we request the people of Mpumalanga to stand in solidarity with the bereaved families, offering support and condolences as they navigate through this challenging period. MK Party wants to urge all road users to exercise extra caution and prioritize safety during this festive period. We want to repeat our call for an improved road safety and authorities to take necessary measures to improve road safety and prevent such accidents in the future. As I close, MK Party requires that we all stand together to condemn this senseless loss of life and create a safer environment for all road users to prevent further loss of life. I so move.
The question for the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
Agreed.
Agreed.
As so agreed. Honorable Mlombo.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to move a motion without notice on behalf of the African National Congress in joining millions of South Africans for wishing COSATU, the Congress of South African Trade Unions, in celebrating their 40th anniversary on the occasion that will be held tomorrow, the 6th December 2025 at the Dobsonville Stadium in Soweto. Noting that, Honorable Speaker, this will be an occasion for workers to celebrate their many hard-won gains since the dark days of apartheid, state brutality, and absolute misery. It will be an opportunity to honor the many heroes of worker struggles, from Ray Alexander organizing clothing and laundry workers in the 1940s, to Oscar Mbete leading the food and canning workers in the 1980s. Further noting that on the 1st December 2025, COSATU turned 40 years old. It emerged in 1995 as a response to apartheid oppression, labor regime which systematically excluded black workers from decent work and union rights. While COSATU played a pivotal role in ending apartheid and shaping the post-1994 labor law, it now grapples with bureaucracy and the changing economy. It is not an accident that two of South African presidents, Honorable Kgalema Motlate and President Cyril Ramaphosa, played leading roles in COSATU as former general secretaries of the National Union of Mine Workers, and President Cyril Ramaphosa as a founding father of the Federation. A happy 40th anniversary to our reliable ally, COSATU, the shield and the spear of the workers in South Africa, the biggest workers' federation in Africa, and a very big trade union. Thank you very much. Aluta, continue. I so move, Honourable Speaker.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
The motion is defeated. Let me remind you, honourable members, in terms of our rule, Rule 83, subsection 4, provides that motions without notice should not be more than 2 minutes. Honourable Kibi.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the economic freedom fighters to express our deepest concern and outrage of the escalating levels of violence, crime in our province. Over the past weekend, 4 people were brutally murdered in Emalahleni within mere 48 hours. This is not an isolated incident. It is part of growing patterns of violence that is tearing at the fabric of our communities. Honourable Speaker, this surge in killing is a clear reflection of failing policing capacity, collapsing the state institution, and the persistence of social economic conditions that fuel violence, poverty, unemployment, and lack of opportunities of young people. This condition creates despair, and despair breeds crime. We therefore call on South African police service to intensify investigation, improve visibility, ensure that perpetrators are arrested and successfully prosecuted. We further urge the provincial government to invest meaningfully in social development programs that addresses the root cause of violence. We extend our condolences to the family of victims and stand firmly with all residents who are now live in fear, No community should endure this level of trauma and insecurity. The EFF will continue to champion the safety and dignity of our people and will not rest until our communities are protected and supported. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree
Yes,
to
yes,
adopt
yes,
the motion.
yes,
Agreed
yes,
to?
yes.
Agreed. Honorable Scalidi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to deliver a motion on behalf of the Democratic Alliance, noting the recent escape of 6 suspects from holding cells in Leidenburg and subsequent recapturing of 3 of the 6 wanted for serious heinous crimes. Also noting that from the reports given through media and that the incident occurred through the suspects digging through a wall in the cell, thereby escaping the lawful detainment of the suspects, we move that this House should resolve that the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport establishes a team to assess all police stations which were devolved from national to province in order for them to check whether the infrastructure is fit for purpose. That the Department of Community Safety, Security and Liaison writes to the National Ministry and requests that all non-devolved stations be assessed as well for structural weaknesses in order to offset any future reoccurrences. That the report of the assessment be tabled to both the committees affected, Public Works, Roads and Transport, and DCSSL, within the next 4 months, excluding December, so that would be April, as minimal work can be done in December. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
No.
Motion is defeated. Honorable Mashiane.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, noting that members of the executive and certain public office bearers are compelled to contribute to the PAMET medical aid scheme, regardless of affordability or personal choice. PAMET membership costs have escalated far beyond inflation, creating a prohibitive financial burden on public representatives, particularly those at provincial and local levels. Action SA has consistently raised concerns that the mandatory nature of PAMET is anti-competitive, outdated, and discriminatory. Alternative, more affordable, and more efficient medical schemes are readily available in the open market, and the continued compulsory enrollment in PAMET undermines principles of fairness, freedom of choice, and financial sustainability for office bearers. Therefore, Action SA calls on this House to call on the Minister of Health and the Minister of Finance to initiate an urgent review of the statutory framework governing compulsory membership to PAMET, to request that all affected public office bearers be granted the freedom to choose their preferred medical aid schemes, to call for the publication of a comprehensive, independent actuarial assessment on the cost, sustainability, and governance of PAMET, and lastly, to urge that contributions to PAMET cease to be mandatory with immediate effect pending the outcome of the national review. I so moved. Thank you, Chair.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
So agreed. Honorable Mtsweni.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Greeting to yourself, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, raise a horrible disaster that happened in Komazi local municipality, wherein the community experienced the tragic loss of 3 lives in the recent floods within the borders of the municipality. It is really sad that while families are looking forward to have family reunion during the festive season, families in Komazi are going through this very difficult time. Our hearts and prayer are with the families in Komazi local municipality and their loved ones. Honorable Speaker, we request in Komazi local municipality to relevant authorities and provincial government to provide immediate relief and support to the affected families, including assistance with funeral arrangements and other necessary aid. Honorable Speaker, MEC party calls upon this House urge the municipality to expedite and process the and ensure that the families receive the necessary support during this difficult time. We also want to commend the emergency services unity in the municipality and community responders for their brave and prompt response to assist those who needed help. As I move towards closing, MK Party want to pass condolences to the families that lost their loved ones, and may their departed souls rest in peace. I request the House to join me in observing a minute of silence. I so move.
The question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the motion. Agreed to?
Agreed.
There's no moment of silence. I did not rule on that one. I'm
Agreed.
saying the
Agreed,
question before
Speaker.
the House
Agreed, Speaker.
is whether we agree to adopt the motion.
We agree, Speaker.
Agreed. Notices of motion. Are there notices of motion? Are there notices of motion? Honorable Ndlovu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise on behalf of the Economic Freedom Fighters to raise a motion, a notice of motion. Honorable Speaker, the traditional leaders continue to serve our communities with dedication, yet many of them do so without the security of medical aid and pension fund. This situation leaves them vulnerable despite the important role they play in the society. Allow me, on behalf of the Economic Freedom Fighter, to move a motion that this House consider in its next sitting to debate the need to ensure the traditional leaders are provided with proper pension, benefits, and medical aids. I so move.
The motion is noted and will be dealt with accordingly. Are there notices of motion? Formal motions. Honorable members, there is a formal motion on the order paper in the name of Honorable S.J. Masang. I also have a speaker's list. I will now call upon the Honorable S.J. Masango, and we are given 10 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, let me welcome the opportunity given to debate the long overdue project of the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market that is now 14 years old, but not complete nor operational. It was in November 2011 when the then former Premier of Mpumalanga, Diti Mabuza, announced the establishment of an international fresh produce market to be constructed in the province. He further mentioned that the feasibility studies will be resuming in August 2012. At that time, the MEC for Agriculture was Honorable MC Mashego Dlamini. Speaker, in 2012 and 2013, that yearly annual report, the late MEC VC Wela stated that the development of the agri-cooperatives have continued to form part of the feeders to the produce market. Speaker, 14 years later, those cooperatives are still waiting to be feeders. In May 2013, the site for the International Fresh Produce Market was identified on the Sabi Mashishing Road, and land agreement was signed. It was also said construction of bulk services to start in October 2013. Design and plans to be completed by September 2013. However, and surprisingly, in the Dartley annual report of 2013-14, the accounting officer, Mr. J.G. Mgiti, reported that the implementation was delayed due to the conceptualization of the implementation model and heavy rains. The budget for the market was also underspent, which is good. The very same financial year, unfortunately, MEGA, the most controversial government agency, well known for fraud and corruption, was appointed as an implementing agency. No wonder why it costs the taxpayers so much and it took so long. Honorable Speaker, immediately after the appointment of MEGA, you can read every Dartley annual report. It speaks about delays, citing different reasons you may find in this world, and from there you could see how the project expenditure started to balloon. Speaker, my calculation is that more than 7 MECs of Dartley went through this project. If I add the MEC of DDET and the MEC for Public Road and Transport, it is more than 12. And all of them failed the people of Mpumalanga. According to the Dartley annual report for 2018-2019, the completion deadline was moved to 2020 and 21 financial year. While it was supposed to be completed in 2021, the very same year, the project was handed over to the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, and MEGA was asked to focus on operational side of the project. The question is, how do you operationalize something that is not complete? Strange enough. Honourable Speaker, let me now focus on the current administration. In his opening provincial address on the 30th July 2024, Premier Mandla Ndlovu said, it is not going to be business as usual, but business unusual. Speaker, from the above statement, it meant that the international fresh produce market issue should now be treated as business unusual in order to have it completed and operational. However, it has continued to be treated as business usual. Hence, as of today, it remains a wild elephant. In December 2024, the Department of Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs confirmed that more than 200 billion rand project has no water and electricity supply to operate. 13 years later, again, business as usual. In response to question asked regarding the operationalization of the project, the department confirmed that significant challenges still prevent the market from being operational, despite the over 2 billion rand spent on this project. Again, business as usual. In July 2025, the Premier Mandla Ndlovu gave the incumbent MEC for that, MEC Mwekezi, 2 weeks to get the market up and running, which was to be the 1st of August 2025. As I speak now, nothing has happened and there is no date for the operation of the market. Again, business as usual. The Mpumalanga government has stated that the market would boost economic spin-off for the province, attract investment even from neighboring countries, and create more job opportunities, empowering locals and women in particular. However, it has remained a pipe dream, business as usual. Agriculture sector leaders have, however, continuously questioned the need for size and high cost of the market, especially since the area surrounding the market did not produce high volumes of vegetables. Most of the fruit produced in the province are exported and do not require the service of a local fresh produce market. Government has also stated that since Mpumalanga is the largest producer of macadamia nuts, the market will be an important sale point for the nuts. But the macadamia nuts are sent to processors and exporters in the province. Over 95% of macadamia nuts are exported. The project has been plagued by various challenges since its inception 14 years ago, which have led to the delay in opening it. It is no surprise with MEGA being involved. At some stage, Dartley failed to pay the municipality accounts for utilities, resulting in the city of Mbombela disconnecting the market electricity supply. Again, business as usual. Given the above, I'm afraid what is going to happen to this more than 2 billion project that took so many years to complete. More problems are coming. The reality of poor decision and maybe corrupt activities will be put to the test. Mark my words. Honourable Speaker, on this financial year, on the adjustment appropriation bill, the project has been given 57.9 million for the remaining 4 months. Surprisingly, of concern and confusion is the following. Firstly, the project is not complete. No consequence management, no communication, and no time frame for the completion of the project and operation. Secondly, the project was formally handed over to the Department of Agriculture as completed. The question is, why the DET is still spending money on this project when it is no more under their control and it's supposedly completed? What do we call this? I hope the Auditor General will pick this up and tell us what this is. Honorable Speaker, one can conclude by saying the international fresh produce market was deliberately created to be a milking cow for the few connected. Now that it should be feeding the people of Mpumalanga, it is dry, not a drop of milk comes out. The name has also been simplified, produce market. Speaker, you can't keep on doing the same thing and expect different results. It is now time that we should be asking ourselves difficult questions. How can we do differently to achieve a positive and different results? In the previous ways, it is business unusual. The people of Mpumalanga deserve better, and I thank you, Speaker.
I will now call upon the Honorable S.T. Sikwakwa, and you are given 8 minutes.
Greetings, Honorable Speaker, the Leader of Government Business, Member of the Provincial Legislature, community at large present here. Greetings. One of the most noticeable trajectory embarked upon this government is to eliminate all forms of discrimination around social, political, and economic transformation. Economic development remains a central focus of administration. Such a commitment is ensuring that is realized and achieved is primarily entrenched in Section 9 of the South African Constitution with guaranteed equality, that everyone has the right to equal protection and benefit of the law. It prohibits unfair discrimination by the state or any person based on grounds like race, gender, and sexual orientation, age, and religion, while also allowing affirmative action and measures to address past inequalities. Honorable Speaker, the construction of Mpumalanga Fresh International Produce Market departs from constitutional provisions I've highlighted in addressing the past inequalities for certain racial groups to be part of the mainstream economy in the agricultural value chain. The fact that it has been constructed by this government, it is clear that it is a clear demonstration that we do not talk left and walk right, but we talk left and walk left. Hence, our founding principles is transformation and to better the lives of our peoples. As a reminder, the ANC conviction is about changing the economy, the economic, political, and social outlook of the most people who were discriminated broadly from realizing their full potential. The role of the fresh produce market is to provide the necessary and obvious facility to compensate for and cover growing gap in the agricultural market. The provision of the international fresh produce market is to allow for equal trade opportunities for large-scale, commercialized producers and smallholder farmers producing small quantities of produce. The implementation of the fresh international produce market is in line with the legislative framework, which is legally bound to allow anyone to engage in a trade without discrimination based on color or race. The facility will allow for small-scale producers to find a market and sell their product easily and compete in the mainstream economy. Honorable Speaker, such a milestone in constructing the international fresh produce market will unlock the province's agricultural potential by providing a central hub for local and international trade markets. The facility meets the international standards compliance with the practices in terms of the food safety measures, traceable modern facilities cold chain and compliant pack houses to ensure product safety and competitive for global markets. One of the key features of the market will be linking the small-scale producers and cooperatives in exposing such produce to local, regional and international consumers. Honorable Speaker, the market involves the establishment of the local agri-hubs under the management of secondary cooperatives, where emerging small-scale farmers organized in primary cooperatives can supply their produce for further distribution. Having reflected on all the intention, purpose of the international fresh produce market, what becomes evident is the intention of the provincial government in taking advantage of agriculture as one of the economic cornerstone. Honorable Speaker, the construction of the operationalization of the agri-hubs across the province bears testimony that the government has an intention in developing and empowering the people of this province. It will be disingenuous for anyone to think and arrive to a conclusion that government is failing to operationalize the market. Some articulations and positions are purely predicated on political grandstanding. If I may ask, can anyone build a structure such as a house or any without a purpose? All the constructions that have been happened thus far as agricultural hubs and international fresh produce market departs from our economic transformation convictions and commitments. Our intention is equal participation in the agricultural value chain. Honorable Speaker, the operationalizing any structure requires due legal process to be followed. Government is obliged by the laws of this country to also follow the prerequisite processes to its finality, such as technical administrative issues. Also specific operationalized by laws which regulate the daily functioning of the market requires adoption within the relevant municipal structures. We cannot occupy the market without following statutory compliance requirements essential to ensure that the market operates in line with all legislative and safety, including governance standards. Some of the bottlenecks in the operationalization of the market cannot be regarded as the failures. Honorable Speaker, the sponsor of this motion conflates failures and delays. And these two concepts denote different meaning. The fact that the government has constructed this beautiful market is a primary demonstration of its commitment to the people of this province. And we cannot be derailed by such socio-political views which are purely predicated on political grandstanding, lacking substantial knowledge on the due legal process to be followed before the occupancy. We want to urge our people to be patient and understand that their beacon of hope is the African National Congress, hence the construction of agri-hubs and the international fresh produce market, and they are the beneficiaries of these constructions. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I now call upon the Honorable P.E. Shongwe, and you are given 10 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, greetings to your good self and honorable members of legislature and MECs. Not forgetting all the leaders and the ground forces of Umkhonto weSizwe, and I also acknowledge the presence of our national party, of our national member, Honorable Themba Mvelase. Honorable Speaker, it is with deepest disappointment that today, instead of debating about how successful the Mpumalanga International Food Market is, but we debate about challenges experienced in operationalizing the national food market. By this time, we were expecting to be showering praises about the rewards that the food market has brought to our emerging farmers and the people of Mpumalanga. The persistent failure to complete and operationalize the project is marked by a number of excuses and explanations which seems to be unending. When the Honorable Premier announced the project, where there were hopes and happiness that at last most of our people stand to benefit from the project, more especially the emerging black farmers. Honorable Speaker, the second quarter report indicates that 32 million budget was allocated to address infrastructure audit findings for the international food market. We were told that 5 million of that money was spent to address, amongst other things, the facilitation of the trading system and obtaining the certificate of operationalizing, which to date we are not informed if that has been successfully done. As some of the planned activities were put on hold, we don't know why, Honorable Speaker, and we don't know when are they going to resume those activities. All these delays have cast doubts to the people of Mpumalanga about the seriousness of government to complete the project. Today, as we debate the failures to operational the international food market, is a stark reminder that the ANC-led government shortcomings. This project could have been a game changer for Mpumalanga economy, creating jobs and opportunity for African people. But as always, excuses are the order of the day. I concur with Honorable Masango, Honorable Speaker, that the food market was created to be a milking cow for those who are benefiting from it. Honorable Speaker, most of our community members, particularly the emerging black farmers, were very excited with the initiative of having the food market. But now, because they experience delay, they are left with empty promises and broken dreams. The Mpumalanga International Food Market potential to empower black farmers, create sustainable livelihood, and drive economic growth is being squandered. This brilliant innovative idea of ensuring that the emerging black farmers also find space to have their agricultural products being marketed to international world has turned to be a nightmare. It also showcased how the ANC-led provincial government neglected emerging farmers in Mpumalanga. That on its own perpetuates inequality and sustain the old order grip on agricultural sector. The failure to operationalize the Mpumalanga food market, for whatever reasons, delays the black farmers to emerge as new economical active people in the agricultural industry. Honorable Speaker, the delay is offering such support. In offering such support is not only a government's failure, but it also leaves black farmers struggling while benefits of having the international food market are currently enjoyed by others. As Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, we will continue to highlight this. The more delays the government makes in operating the food market will result in the following: one, historical injustice will persist, where black farmers, especially those who are new in the industry, will face barriers to entry and environmental growth. Two, the ANC-led government's inaction towards making the international food market operational will maintain the status quo and favor the already established interest. Three, emerging black farmers will continue to lack access to capital, market, and expertise unless there is change in the fast tracking of the operation of the food market. Honorable Speaker, as Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, we want the department concerned to prioritize empowerment and inclusivity, to offer hope to change, and that can only be done by practically operationalizing the food market. And stop talking. As Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, we stand firm in reclaiming the dignity of all South Africans who were deprived of their farming rights. Hence, we condemn the delay. It is our conviction that the time to break the chains of oppression and empower our people has come, and nothing must stop it. Those who are sleeping on duty should give the way to Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, because we have the plan. Honorable Speaker, Umkhonto Wesizwe's plan runs as follows. We will revitalize the project, review and revise the project plan, engage stakeholders and experts to ensure its viability. To empower black farmers, provide access capital, training, and mentorship, bridging the gap to mainstream agriculture. And then 3, job creation, prioritize local employment and skill development, stimulating economic growth. 4, market access, secure partnership and agreements to guarantee market access for emerging farmers. 5, economic boost, drive investment, infrastructure development, and economic diversification in Mpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, as I move towards conclusion, I want to emphasize that Umkhonto Party, we demand accountability. When will the government prioritize the people of Mpumalanga, especially the emerging black farmers? The people of Mpumalanga, especially the future of Mpumalanga's economy depends on it. We call for economic emancipation for our people now. The time for people to sleep on duty while our communities suffer is over. Surely, the ANC-led government is incapable of delivering their own promises. The time for change is now. Mpumalanga deserves a government that will privatize their well-being, not self-enrichment. Umkhonto Party offer a beacon of hope for a brighter future. Let's unite and change and put Mpumalanga first. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
I will now call upon the Honorable N.P. Mkavela, and you are given 8 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is the second motion of the DA that lacks substance and facts in a short space of time. And the EFF questioned them that before they table a motion, they must do a thorough research on the matter. Our work in this legislature dictates that whatever issue we raise must be informed and have sound basis, not to just mumble for cheap political point scoring. Firstly, the DA motion is referring to the market as an international fresh produce market, whilst they are fully aware that the market was reconceptualized and renamed Mpumalanga Food Market. Secondly, the DA motion is saying the market is not complete, which is not true because the market structure was completed and handed over to government by the contractor, which was appointed to construct the structure of the market. The DA Honorable Tasha Marshall sits and actively participates in the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, and she has a full brief about the causes of the delays in the operationalization of the food market. But because she is opposed to the brilliant idea behind this food market, she doesn't brief her colleagues. Instead, she misleads them. The main problem here was created by MEGA as the first custodian of the market by not submitting the building plans to Mbombela local municipality for approval and to Ehlanzene district municipality for health and safety assessment. The Dudley appointed the food market operators in 2024, and the operators, upon taking over the building of the market, were confronted by these issues of unapproved buildings plan, hence the refusal by the municipality to grant them the occupation certificate. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, the health officials from the district council, upon inspection of the building, they established that there are serious issues relating to ablution services that must be fixed before operationalizing the market. So, Honorable Speaker, it is difficult to support a motion that lacks substance and facts because at the EFF we are fully aware of the causes of the delays for the operationalization of the facility. The main issue is approval of building plans, and I must report that the capable chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, Honorable Sediwe, said, I must put the House into confidence and guarantee all members that the market will be fully operational in due course, and it will bring economic spin-offs for the people of Mpumalanga, create jobs, and empower many previously disadvantaged people economically. He said, Speaker, can you protect me? Can you protect me?
Honorable members, can we please conduct ourselves according to the rules of the House, and we must not converse aloud. You are protected, Honorable.
Thank you so much. He said, I must report that today he personally received the link of the drawings that have been stamped and uploaded to the municipal portal. as the chairperson that is hands-on and involved, he says he also personally made a call to the municipality and also received commitment that the remainder of the building plans will be completed and uploaded by the end of this week. The capable and competent chair of the portfolio committee also called the municipal inspector directly, and the inspector committed that he will do the last inspection next week, then all will be honky-dory. The DA must support this government initiative and exercise maximum patience and stop being anxious because its constituency will also benefit from the market. We know that they are trying to defend the privately white-owned market in Valencia because they view the food market as a threat to its business and profit-making, which is not the case. And we are told the APEC has closed that private market because of non-compliance, so no need to worry. Based on these valid reasons and substantial evidence, Honorable Speaker, the EFF does not support this DA motion. Thank you.
I now call upon Honorable Chibi. We were not given an opportunity to speak. I now call upon the Honorable W.L. Weber, and you are given 4 minutes.
Madam Speaker, I have been reminded by the governing party that I am being paid to oppose. The question is, do I only have a duty to oppose the governing party, or must I also oppose some of the opposition parties who make allegations here which and sometimes I agree, and sometimes I do not agree. I am convinced that the building of the international fresh produce market was a good thing. It can serve a very good purpose. And now, Madam Speaker, I am reminded by this speaker's list here, I've got it in my hand, that I am not allowed to only use the language of a colonial power. I must use an indigenous African language like Afrikaans, which I will do. Ek is oortuig dat daar is redes hoekom daar nog nie gevorder is tot op die punt waar die varsprodukte mark operasioneel is nie. Ek is bereid om te luister na goeie redes. Maar aan die ander kant is dit so dat dit vat net te lank. It simply takes too long. And if I'm being asked, am I prepared to support inaction? The action cannot be yes. If I am asked, do I support inaction or do I support action? I must say I support action. And if that is the rule, I will say I support the motion of the Democratic Alliance. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honorable F.T. Mashiane, and we are given 4 minutes. Put your mic on.
Today we debate the government's inability to operationalize the Mpumalanga Fresh Market, a project that has become a symbol of stalled development, wasteful expenditure, and the betrayal of the agricultural sector in our province. Honorable Speaker, the market was conceptualized as a flagship agri-logistics hub, a facility meant to transform Mpumalanga's agricultural economy, support small-scale farmers, strengthen export capacity, and stimulate regional trade. Instead, it has become yet another incomplete project gathering dust while costs escalate and local farmers struggle. This House must confront the uncomfortable truth. The failure to complete and operationalize this market is not accidental. It is the result of weak planning and poor coordination, chronic underspending, a lack of political will, and a governance culture that rewards failure instead of penalizing it. Honourable members, we cannot continue pretending that these development failures are isolated events. The pattern is always the same. Projects launched with great fanfare, contractors appointed without due diligence, oversight ignored until the crisis reached the front pages, communities left with empty buildings and shattered hopes. Honourable Speaker, the provincial government has spent millions on this facility. In a province, yet farmers still do not have access to modern storage, cold chain logistics, or export infrastructure. Many small-scale farmers, who happen mostly to be black farmers, are losing produce due to lack of market access. In a province with high employment and rising food insecurity, shrinking agricultural contributing to GDP, this failure is catastrophic. Action SA proposes the following solutions: immediate intervention by the provincial treasury, appointment of a competent independent project management team, integration into a provincial agri-logistics master plan, open engagement with farmers and private sector partners. The agricultural sector must be involved in planning, operationalization, and long-term sustainability. Government cannot run this alone, and the private sector is ready and willing to participate. Honourable Speaker, we must ask, who benefits from these delays? Because the people of Mpumalanga certainly do not. This House must send a clear message. The era of incomplete projects and wasteful expenditure must come to an end. Honourable Speaker, the completion and operationalization of the market is not a luxury. It is an urgent economic necessity. The people of Mpumalanga deserve better. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honourable T.S. Mafimbela, and you are given 8 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, thank you. Honourable Speaker and Deputy Speaker, Honourable Premier, in absentia, Honourable members of the Executive Council, Honourable members of the Legislature, and all in the House, I greet you. Honourable Speaker, I rise today on behalf of the African National Congress, the governing party, entrusted by the people of Mpumalanga with the responsibility to drive economic transformation, build infrastructure, and create opportunities for a better life for all. It is in this spirit that I address this House on the matter of the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market, a flagship project that stands today as a symbol of progress, economic development, and our collective determination to industrialize our agricultural sector. Honourable Speaker, much has been said about this market, sometimes in good faith, but often through narratives that overlook the undeniable progress achieved to bring this important infrastructure to completion. Today, I rise to state clearly, the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market has been built, completed, and is moving towards full operation. What remains now is not debate over its relevance, but our unified support to ensure that it becomes the economic catalyst it was designed to be. The Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market is not just a building, it is a modern, world-class agri-logistics platform that positions our province as a key player in domestic and international food value chains. It has been specifically designed to support and expand the agricultural economy, which remains one of the Mpumalanga's greatest strengths. This market will serve as a central hub where farmers, from smallholders in rural communities to large-scale producers, can access domestic wholesalers, regional buyers, and importantly, export markets across Africa and beyond. By opening these doors, we are unlocking value that has long been held back by limited logistics, fragmented markets, and geographical barriers. The operationalization of this market will allow Mpumalanga to increase its share in national fresh produce distribution, facilitate entry into high-value regional and export markets, reduce post-harvest losses, a major challenge for emerging farmers, strengthen food security through efficient supply chain management, attract agro-processing industries to cluster around the facility. Honorable Speaker, this is infrastructure with a purpose. It is engineered for impact. We cannot ignore the fact that the market experienced delays, as do many complex infrastructure projects across the developing world. These delays were influenced by multiple factors, including procurement challenges and the need to strengthen government around a project of this magnitude. However, what matters is that all major construction work has been completed and the province has appointed a competent operator with expertise in running large internationally oriented fresh produce markets. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market is a strategic investment whose time has come. It is a project that will lift the rural farming communities, transform agricultural value chain, enable export and stimulate inclusive growth. The ANC government has delivered the infrastructure. The province is ready to trade. Now we must unite in ensuring that this economic engine becomes operational and reach its full potential. Let us move forward together for our farmers, our youth, our economy, and the people of Mpumalanga. I thank you.
I now call upon the Honorable T.M.J. Grovier Morgan, and you are given 4 minutes.
Greetings, Honorable Speaker, and greetings to the House at large. Honorable Speaker, once again, a very disturbing motion that we are debating today in this August House. This is one of the late D.D. Mabuza's legacy projects. The whole idea behind this was to try and eliminate poverty and enhance job creation in Mpumalanga, as agriculture is one of the biggest economic drivers in the province. This project, since its inception, started a large syndicate of public fund looters, and this was a new cash cow for some politicians and officials. There are still subcontractors that were not paid for the work done, and some had to go as far as selling their homes to pay their workers. Honorable Speaker, every year there's a budget that is allocated for this project, but with no concrete results. Listening to all the debates today, you realize that this government has failed the farmers of Mpumalanga, small and large scale. Every year we are given a date of operation, but dololo. No funds are needed. More funds are needed to loot and loot and loot. That's what we are good at. Honorable Speaker, operations hasn't even started, but important commodities like electricity and water are cut off. No occupational certificate. That makes you wonder, were there no plans in place for this big project? Were the contractors not compliant to construct a big building of this magnitude? Honorable Speaker, this fresh produce market will open, I think, just too late, if it does open. And farmers will have resorted to other smaller markets to be able to sell their produce. Angeke bamele lithemba lelifile. Honorable Squaqua so beautifully painted the picture of a non-existing fresh produce market. We can stand here and speak beautiful English while our people perish of poverty and joblessness. Honorable Speaker, can this government stop playing with the livelihoods of our people and stop making false promises? We are kombisa ukuthi niyahlulega, period. Give it to the bigger companies to take over and sort out this business, because looting is our main focus in this province. Let us stop that and give people jobs, because our people deserve a better life. I thank you, Speaker.
Now the question before the House is whether we agree to Motion is moved by Honorable S.J. Masango. Agreed to?
No. No.
Honorable members, I will take you to a vote. Those who support the motion, they must show by raising their hands. Thank you. Those who are not supporting the motions,
Helen Zilla must fall.
no, thank you. The motion is not supported. Can we move to the next item, which is orders of the day? The secretary shall read the first order of the day.
Questions for oral reply to the members of the Executive Council.
I have a question paper in front of me with questions for oral reply to members of the Executive Council, known as MECs. I am informed that the question paper was duly circulated to all members of the legislature. We'll now proceed to questions for oral reply as they appear on our question paper. The first question is from Honorable F. Mlombo, ANC, to ask the MEC for health. We have received an apology from MEC Manzini, and Honorable MEC Hlope will stand in for Honorable Manzini.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me greet you, the Deputy Speaker, the Leader of Government Business, my colleagues, the MECs, and all members of the legislature. We did receive the question from Honorable F. V. Mlombo of the ANC to ask the MEC for health. The Constitution places a fundamental responsibility on the state to protect and secure the safety of property and inhabitants. The safety of patients and staffs remain a concern on a certain health facilities in the province. The security fences and or palisades at Kildare Clinic in Bushbuckridge has dilapidated, and that has made compromises safety and security of the facility, personnel and patients. The question number 1, what are the plans of the department about the renovation or construction of fences of Kildare Clinic? And our response indicates that the department has scheduled the renovation of the Kildare Clinic fence for the third quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year. This project is part of the broader infrastructure improvement program, which seeks to ensure that health facilities are safe, secure, and conducive to the delivery of the quality of health services. Question number 2. Is the department aware of any other health facilities with dilapidated fences in the province? And the response is that yes, the department is aware, and the following depicts PHC facilities that have dilapidated fence in Ehlanzeni. There are 12 in total, and it's only in Bushbuckridge. It's Kildare, as indicated, the Edinburgh, Hluvugani, Oakley, Madras, Islington, Belfast, Calcutta, R2 Stone, Belfast Hook, Cork. In Gersibande, there are 12 in total. Chief Albert Lutuli has Prom Dry, Flag Plus, Moy Plus, Fenny 2, and Deep Dial. And in Gavenpegi, it has only one, the seat in Lukwa, Tutugani, in Kondo, Amsterdam, Kwangema, Iswepe, Driefontein Old Stand, Msugalukwa, 1, Lota. And in total there are 12. In Kangala, in total there are 26. Steve Chwete is Nazareth, Sukululiwe, and Henry. Emakazeni Sakelwe, Otto van Boven, Emalachen Clarnet, Louis, Dr. Jess Muroka, Falbank Clinic, PD Skral Clinic, RPL Muripe Clinic, Nukaning CSC, Siabe CAC, Volgekral CAC Clinic, Bloedfontein Clinic, DPS Prate Clinic, Lofontein Clinic, Kalkfontein Clinic, Vet Clinic, Packet Clinic, Actorich Clinic, and in Tembisile, Grude Red Clinic, Kochafontein A Clinic, Kochafontein CSC, Verena Clinic CSC, Fresh Gevard Clinic, Vlaglatte number 1 clinic. And as I indicated, there are 26 and the grand total is 49. Question number 3. Carl Daly Clinic operates from Monday to Friday. Where do patients access medical care during the weekends? And our response, Honorable Speaker, indicate that Carl Daly Clinic operates from Monday to Friday as the question indicates. And during weekends and public holidays, patient does access primary health care services at the following nearby facilities. Angin Kok Clinic, which operates 24 hours and is located 12 kilometers away from the clinic, from the Keldai Clinic, and Lily Day Clinic, which operates from 12 hours from the located clinic is 6.5 kilometers away. Oakley Clinic, and operating for 24-hour clinic service, which is located 11 kilometers away. These clinics operate 7 days a week to ensure continuity and care and access to health services for the community. Importantly, the distance to this 24-hour clinic falls within the accepted norm of 15-kilometer clinic for accessing round-the-clock services. I thank you, Speaker.
Honorable Mlombo, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't have a follow-up question. I want to thank the MEC for the comprehensive response. Thank you.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. Can we proceed to the next question? The next question is from Honorable M.N. Mhlongo, ANC, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Mhlongo, ANC, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlement, and traditional affairs. The South African Constitution, Section 26, states that everyone has the right to access adequate housing, and that housing must be structurally sound, provided with basic amenities such as water, sanitation, electricity, and be free from hazard that can affect health. Question 1. Considering the above, can the Honorable MEC update this August House with the department's plan addressing the backlog in providing the above-mentioned amenities in low-cost houses in the province? The department strives to provide decent and sound housing in fully serviced areas with basic amenities such as water, sewer, storm, water drainages, electricity, access roads, and social amenities. That is the crash, community hall, like the one of Ntunda, and many childcare centers, etc. In fact, this is the holistic vision of the Sustainable and Integrated Human Settlement Development Program. This broader vision entails a joint and integrated approach by department, municipalities, sector departments, and private sector towards providing improved services. As a provision of basic services remains the responsibility of municipalities, department, through its national grant funding, assists municipalities with the provision of bulk link infrastructure and certain areas to address the backlog. Also through the new Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs, best known as COGSTA, an integrated planning approach, alignment of plans and budget with municipality is being reinforced to maximize planning and delivery outcomes. Also, to break the scourge of silo planning, the MEC for COGSTA is also the champion of the district development model, known as DDM, in the province, which ensures collaboration in achieving integrated planning and development in all municipalities. In addition, a central provincial planners forum has been developed. Amongst others, the forum seeks to ensure improved alignment and coordination of infrastructure delivery initiatives amongst municipalities, sector departments, state entities, and private sector, thereby addressing the basic amenities backlog in a low-cost housing. Question 2. According to the department's plan, what is the program in place in terms of issuing the title deeds, since it looks like we are still dealing with the issue of backdating since 1994? Our response are as follows. The department has prioritized the issuing of the title deeds with specific focus on proclaimed areas. The process is being implemented on an ongoing basis to ensure that communities in Mpumalanga are afforded security of tenure. In the previous financial year, 2024-2025, department has managed to issue a total of 1,503 title deeds to qualifying beneficiaries in different municipalities. Department has set target of delivering 1,000 title deeds during the 25-26 financial year. This target is informed by the availability of proclaimed areas that are ready for registration as well as the budget allocation. Department has, with the department together with the Minister of Human Settlement, Ms. Milano, has recently issued 409 title deeds in Mzinoni Township, Garsibande District municipalities. Question 3. How many low-cost houses are expected to be built or approved by department in the financial year 25-26, and on which municipal wards? The response are as follows. For the current financial year, 2025-26, a total of 1,783 low-cost houses has been targeted for delivery. The houses are spread across different wards in the following municipalities: Bushbuckridge, Chief Albert Lituli, City of Mbombela, Dipalising, Dr. Jess Moroka, Piska Gaisakasen, Emakazeni, Emalahleni, Govenberg, Mkondo, Msugale, Mkomasi, Steve Chwete, Tabachweu, and indeed Tembisi. How does the department assist in overseeing the allocated national grants to municipalities channeled towards the delivery of critical infrastructure? Our response: department plays a pivotal role in overseeing and coordinating the effective allocation of national grants to municipalities, ensuring these funds are directed towards essential infrastructure development. These grants include the Municipal Infrastructure Grant (MIG), Water Services Infrastructure Grant (WISIC), Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant (RBIC), Integrated National Electrification Program (INEP), Municipal Disaster Response Recovery Grant, and Integrated Urban Development Grant (IUDG). The department collaborates closely with various departments, including Department of Cooperative Governance, which is DCOC, Department of Water and Sanitation, DWS, and Department of Electricity and Energy, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport, and Department of Agriculture, Rural Development and Land Environmental Affairs. This collaboration supports municipalities during the Integrated Development Plan assessment, ensuring that infrastructure priorities are accurately reflected in municipal IDPs. Department facilitates the submission of implementation plan from municipalities to guarantee that prioritized projects comply with grant conditions and requirements, thus ensuring that allocated funding is directed towards the basic services. Additionally, in partnership with the Municipal Infrastructure Support Agency, MISA, Department assists municipalities in developing business plans and technical reports, as well as coordinating appraisal sessions to support the registration and approval of business plan for projects funded by this grant. These efforts ensure the prioritized projects adhere to relevant sector norms and standards and are responsive to community needs. Throughout the implementation phase, the department monitors grant usage by requiring monthly and quarterly progress reports to evaluate both financial and non-financial performance. Furthermore, quarterly progress meetings and monthly site monitoring visits are conducted to assess physical advancement on the ground. Lastly, through MISA, departments deploys technical experts to support municipalities with limited capacity. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Honorable Mhlongo, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I do not have any follow-up question.
Are there any follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Masango?
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. MEC, you know, I'm just triggered by your proclamation land. I know you spoke about it at the Tuesday meeting, but it was a long meeting. We couldn't ask you everything on that day. But I just want to check, you know, we have RDPC in non-proclaimed land, and senior RDP emakhosini indawo ezithiwa ngamakhosi. Kuzokwenzakalani ngalapho bantu ukuthi bathola ama-title deeds, or ugovernment uplane ukwenzani ukuthi a-fast track le process ukuthi nomunye azi ukuthi umuzi wakhe le, ngoba siyazi amafamily ayalwa once kwashona omunye babangale izinto. Thank you.
Honorable, let me say.
No, thanks, Honorable Masango. Well, some few years ago, I might not recall actual year, there was in fact, when the SPLUMA was got introduced, there was a vehement objections from the Amakosi around that aspect, because that SPLUMA was to allow the zoning and the proclamation of the areas for them to get the title deed, and they opposed it until it was suspended. Now, currently, that challenge remains. However, the last meetings we had with the Amakos at National, and when we launched the King's Forum, we agreed that such people, we still have to provide them with the title deed, and that's why we are moving slowly in proclaiming some of the areas. We have transferred some land to municipalities. If you look at Bokwara Fontaine and the other part of Dr. Jess Moroka are now transferred to municipalities, and we are doing that township establishment for us to allow them to get the title deed. It's not an easy exercise, but for sure we are going there.
Honorable Ndimande.
Ngiyabonga Speaker. Babumashilo MEC bengicela ukubuza lana imibuzo nje embalo mayelana la igcineni kwenkulumo yakho ukhuluma ngama technical aspect, but izindlu esizivakashele tingikhulume nje ngezindawo ezimbili, iBelfast neMkhondo. Lezi ndlu lapha ya ayizange ibe khona lento esibiza nge-technical aspect abangabheka ukuthi lezi ndlu kufanele zakhiwe endaweni efanele. Izindlu zakhiwe endaweni enamanzi, i-sewage ingena phakathi ezindlini. So angazi ukuthi ungangiphendula uthini kule nkulumo yokuthi izindlu ziyakhiwa, but awabibikho lama technical aspect abhekayo ukuthi izindlu zakhiwe endaweni efanele. Uzothola futhi ezinye izindlu ziyadilika, akunamanzi, kepha abantu sebahlala ngaphakathi, akunamanzi, infrastructure sanitation. So bengicela baba ukuthi ungiphendule la ukuthi singayisolva kanjani inkinga yokuthi singakhulumi ebantwini ukuthi ama technical aspect abakhona kepha izindlu zakhiwa endaweni engafanele. Ngiyabonga.
Honorable MEC.
Enkulumeni yami ngiveze lento esibiza ukuthi provincial planning forum. Abomasipala esikhathini esiningi, what they will do, they will survey in terms of appointing the service provider to do the planning of the areas. Bayazela survey, bajube the 10. Then they invite department ukuthi yakhe izindlu. When we come there to build houses, like the one of Emakazeni, where we went, in Mkondo, as well as Msugalekwa, ngase Brighton areas. When we come there, the areas they've identified, they are not good. They become waterlogged. That's why sigcine se-establisha le sibiza with the provincial central planning, so that we are responding kule inkinga leyo. Ngoba mase siyakhile ilapha le nkinga ivela khona, and egcineni lezindlu gets affected. So our mitigation is to have that planning so that we can be able to properly ascertain the areas. IMISA, as an expert, they are part and parcel, so that as they survey the area, they look around where are the stormwater control for that reasons.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. You can proceed to the next question, which is from Honorable NP Mkabela, EFF, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs.
Honorable Mkabela, NP Mkabela, EFF, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlement, and traditional affairs. Honorable MEC, on the 31st December 2017, a very sudden and heavy hailstorm left so many households of Umkuhlu stranded without roofs on their houses, broken windows, damaged furniture, and some lost their cars. and disaster management municipalities came to the following day to identify the homes that required to be assisted after the incident. Can the Honorable MEC indicate to this august House as to how much budget was spent on the said disaster project? I will respond. Thank you very much. The former Department of Human Settlement did not form part of the relief measure through the disaster housing program due to the affected parties' qualifications criteria. A monthly household income above the threshold, for example, the Malubani Trust in a middle-class income area with the affected structures value falling outside the subsidy quantum. No assistance was provided by department. In that regard, the disaster was assessed by the Municipal Disaster Division and a total number of 400 tents were provided as a temporary relief measures to the affected areas. We've been since engaged to the national departments to respond and find a mechanism how best to assist the people in the main who does not fall within the categories of the lower levels, because it remains a challenge. Now, unfortunately, recently there is a legislation that is, in fact, the policy that is passed that says we need to assist the people who might have lost properties, even though they don't fall within the low-cost houses. And those people at the moment, they fall outside that. I've since instructed my office to go back to relook those areas so that probably we can find the compensating them. It's not only that area, it's quite a lot of numbers. Thank you.
Honorable Mkabela, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC Mashilo, for the response. Honorable Mashilo, I have raised this question because we were also affected by that incident or storm. The 400 tents that they telling you to report here that they provided, it's a lie. They never provided more than 50 tents. But nonetheless, I would like your department, Honorable MEC, to provide a list of the households that they've provided with these 400 tents to be submitted to us. We'll take it from there. Thank you very much.
Are there any follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Mashilo, you'll submit the list. I don't think you'll have the information now. Are there any follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. We'll now proceed to question number 77, and we have received an apology from Honorable T. Marshall from the DA to ask the MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, and she has delegated Honorable TMJ Grovier Morgan. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to yourself, to the Deputy Speaker, all the members of the legislature, and all the MECs, and the public. Honorable Speaker, the question from Honorable T. Marshall to ask the MEC for Agricultural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs. Given that a soft launch was committed for the 1st of April 2025 and the Premier publicly announced a ribbon cutting for 1st of August 2025,
Yet the Mpumalanga International Food Market remains a non-operational as at 1st September 2025. The MEC kindly respond to the following matters. The first question: specify the total amount paid to the consortium since appointment to date, broken down pay invoice, payment and certificate or payment certificate. The response from the department: as per the contract concluded with the consortium appointed, the department has not effected any payment to the consortium. The consortium is expected to operationalize and share revenue with the Mpumalanga government. Question number 2. Provides the cumulative expenditure on the Mpumalanga International Food Market from inception to the most recent month end, disaggregated by financial year. Our response: the Mpumalanga International Food Market was constructed by the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport. The full involvement of the department commenced in 2024-2025 financial year. The department is providing the table below with figures for 2024-2025 and 2025-2026 financial year. In the financial year 2024-2025, the budget was 211,404,000 and the expenditure is 211,404. 2025-2026 financial year, the budget is 32,728,000 and the expenditure is 5,157,000. So the total for the budget of 2024-2025 and 2025-2026 financial years 243,132,000 and the expenditure to date 216,561,000. The third question: provide the current commitments and accruals as well as any impairment written offs and disclosed irregular, fruitless or wasteful expenditure associated with the project with reference to internal audit or HSA findings where applicable. Our response as department: there are currently no accruals, impairments, write-offs or recorded fruitless and wasteful expenditure associated with the project. The findings raised by the Auditor General have been formally disputed by the department and remain under review. The department has an allocation of 32 million in the current financial year towards the fortification of the boundary fence, expansion of internal access road, construction of ablution facilities and installation of site signage. The fourth question, Honorable Speaker: state unequivocally whether the province intends to privatize, corporatize, concession, or otherwise transfer all or part of the Mpumalanga International Food Market operations or assets to a private party. If yes, provide full details. Our response to the department: Honorable Speaker, the province has adopted a concession operating model for operationalization the market. In this arrangement, the facility will remain a public asset under the ownership of the Mpumalanga provincial government, whilst the day-to-day management, operations, and maintenance of the facility will be undertaken by an appointed market operator for a period of 20 years, with an option to renew. The contractual framework includes a profit-sharing mechanism between the market operator and the provincial government, thereby ensuring that the assets continue to generate public value. This model, Honorable Speaker, is specifically designed to ensure sustainability of the facility by leveraging private sector expertise and operational efficiency, and also guarantee transformation within the food market sector by increasing the participation of black farmers and market agents. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Khrovia Morgan, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't have a follow-up, but I would request the MEC to please send the response to my office. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Member. It must send through the Office of the Speaker, then you'll be able to get that response. Are there any follow-up questions? No, thank you, Honorable MEC. Question number 78 has been responded to in writing. Then we'll proceed to question number 79 from Honorable Entin Lovo, EFF, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlements, and traditional affairs.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Entin Lovo, EFF, to ask the MEC for cooperative governance, human settlement, and traditional affairs. The merging of rainwater provident funds to municipal employees pension fund, section 14, transfer of the 1st August 2019, has raised questions and dissatisfaction to affected employees concerning their pension benefits. Question 1. How do members access their rent water provident funds member statement? Our response. At the time of transfer of former rent water employees to the municipality, rent water never issued any benefit statements to the former employees. However, they transferred their benefits to their choice of pension fund, which is Municipal Employees Pension Fund, and a fund for municipal workers. Members can then access their benefits statement from those funds. Question 2. Why were members not given option or cross over the other pension funds? The former rent water were given an option to choose pension fund of their choice between the Municipal Employees Pension Fund and Fund for Municipal Workers. Can a member be forced to belong to a particular pension fund? Well, ordinarily, it will depend to the institutions. But yes, in South Africa, workers can be forced to belong to a particular pension fund. In this case, I am not too sure because I have not interviewed these respective members if they were forced. But they were given option of 2 pension funds that they can choose from. And from where our investigations, they made a choice between the 2. When will members receive their benefit statement by, when will members receive their member benefit statements by email or any electronic communication? The responsibility remains with the individual affected employees and not the municipality. We can confirm that the municipality has not received any requests from the former rent water employees for which assistance to their benefit statements. The municipalities can engage rent water if the affected former employees raise such a request. However, the municipalities does have a responsible official at the corporate to assist any member to access his or her own benefit statement in the event that the pension fund does not provide the benefit statements. Over and above, it is the responsibility of a pension fund all the time to present or provide members with their benefit statement. Question number 4. Members are expected to pay services to MEPF, which is Municipal Employees Pension Funds. How much is services and why pay the services? Because it is transferred and not a new contract. The value of the service is determined by the fund. The former employees chose services fees are regulated by the pension fund. By law, each pension, they have what we referred as an administrative fee that we pay. As you know, honorable members, you'll have your benefits to be invested. In that process, there is an administration fee that must be paid to pay your actuaries, to pay your investors, to pay the administrations to administer your monies. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ndlovu, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you, Speaker, and I received the response by the MEC. It's just that the information is misleading. I would request the MEC to forward the response in writing for further engagement. I thank you.
Honorable MEC, you can provide the written responses. Are there any follow-up questions from other honorable members? No, thank you, Honorable MEC.
And then you phone and you pile a foot. Okay, who's the one I got? Okay.
No, thank you, Honorable MEC. Question number 80 has been responded in writing. Then we'll proceed to question number 81 from Honorable P. Shongwe, MK Party, to ask the MEC for community safety, security, and liaison. And we have received an apology from the Honorable MEC, and MEC Tomo will stand in for MEC Masi.
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable P.E. Shongwe, MK Party, to ask MEC for community safety, security, and liaison. The department is tasked with the responsibility of actively addressing the escalation of criminal activities in Mpumalanga, particularly the growing incidence of killings happening in Emalahleni, crime hotspots areas like Pinar, Masoi, Mariti, and Bushbuck were also to receive highly trained police officers to help curb criminal activities and enhance public safety. The first question, can the MEC take this House into confidence by sharing how the department measures the effectiveness of methods applied to fight crime in the crime hotspots? And the response by the department, although formal evaluation have not been conducted to measure the effectiveness of the interventions to fight crime in the crime hotspots, evidence is showing that intentional interventions are yielding results. From our analysis of the reported crime in the hotspots where we intervened in, victims are more forthcoming and are reporting cases since they are being motivated to break the silence in the places we intervened in. Women are also more aware of GBV. The department and SAPS will ensure that they allocate the budget to conduct evaluations. The second question, what role does the MEC suggest for community members in supporting crime prevention initiatives? And the response by the department is that the MEC is conducting stakeholder engagements and awareness campaigns where the communities are solicited to participate in crime prevention initiatives. Communities have been encouraged to establish street patrol committees and the operation be within the confines of the law. Through these initiatives, it is open invitation for communities to ensure that they have safer communities they want. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Shongwe, do you have follow-up questions?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to welcome the response by MEC Tom, and also note that crime has dropped in Mpumalanga compared to other provinces. We upload that, Honorable Speaker. However, when we check on the initiative taken of the initiative taken by SAPS jointly with schools to curb crime in schools, we've seen that it has escalated. The rate of crime in schools has risen sky high. And if I may quote one incident, Honorable Speaker, at Emakazeni, there was an incident where a female student, was assaulted by male boys. And the incident was reported at the police station. The 3 boys were taken in for questioning and later released. And they attended, if I'm not mistaken, twice at the court. And the magistrate said there's no case as there is no evidence. While there were videos which were circulating in social media of the boys assaulting the boy. So I don't know what is it that the Premier is doing or is planning to, the MEC is planning to do in order to ensure that the crime is controlled or it decreases at schools. What plan does he have in place to ensure that such incidences doesn't occur in schools? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable MEC, but I note that this is a new question.
Correct. No, thanks, Speaker, and thank you very much for actually being upfront in indicating that this is totally a new question. However, I must firstly appreciate the fact that the MK, through Honorable Shongwe, is admitting and also acknowledging the decline of crime in the province, because even the previous few weeks it has been indicated that Mpumalanga, I think, is the second best in the country in terms of combating crime. However, the incident that you are talking about, I think we will elevate it to the department for it to ensure that they pay attention to. But there are joint programs that I know of, which the MEC responsible for community safety, security, and liaising, together with the MEC for education, are doing almost on weekly basis, if not on monthly basis, to go to problematic schools where they deal with issues of bullying and stuff. But there has to be an understanding, Honorable Speaker, that there's a distinction between South African police services and the judiciary. The matter that you are talking about, it's a matter that the South African police service dealt with, the judiciary have failed. So there has to be that particular understanding and the clear understanding of the two distinctions, of the two actually operation by the South African police service and the judiciary. But we really appreciate the question, and also these are the responses that we can actually provide in the meantime.
Honorable Shongwe, do you have another follow-up question?
No, Honorable Speaker, I'm covered.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Honorable Ngumayo.
Thank you very much, Speaker. MEC, we also acknowledge the presence of street patrols, but how do we regulate them and make sure that they don't harass community members? Thank you.
Honorable MEC.
Honorable Speaker, in my answer to the question is that the introduction of the patrols will be within the ambits of the law. We're saying the department, they should work within the confines of the law. So we're going to do whatever it takes that they actually adhere to the prescribed laws of the country and ensuring that they don't harass people. So, but we want to encourage members and community members, if there any form of harassment done by these patrollers, to come forth and report that. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Is there any follow-up question from other honorable member? Thank you, Honorable MEC. We'll proceed to the next question, which is from Honorable S.J. Masango from the DA to ask the MEC for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Honorable S.J. Masango, DA, asked the MEC for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. In terms of Rule 102 of the Standing Order, Section 106, forensic investigations were instituted in several of municipalities across the province over the past couple of years. Given the above, will MEC answer the following questions? How many forensic investigations were instituted in our municipalities between 2016 and now? Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs has conducted 9 forensic investigations in terms of Section 106(1)(b) of the Municipal Systems Act 2000 since 2016 to date. They were conducted in the following municipalities: Lekwa, Piskega Isagasemi, Dr. Jess Moroka, Govan Mbek, Dipaliseng, Nkomasi, Emalahlen, Bushbuckridge, and Umkhonto. Of the above, how many are still in progress and how many are completed successfully and implemented? Our response: these investigations reports were presented to the respective councils to implement the recommendations. Dr. Piskega Isagaseme and Dr. J.S. Moroka local municipalities have done well in implementing the recommendations of the reports. They have resolved about 90% of their recommendations. The remaining ones are matters that have been referred to law enforcement agents. The other municipalities are at the various stages of implementations of between 70 and 85%. All these municipalities have referred some matters to the law enforcement agents, which have not been fast in addressing these matters. The challenge largely remains those matters that have been referred to the law enforcement agents, as those are moving at a slow pace. Department will continue to monitor the implementations of the recommendation and ensure that all municipalities fully implement the recommendation. We have since engaged the law enforcement agents in this regard, the works, to speed up the processes. Roman figure 3. Have all the recommendations of the forensic investigations in Tabachwe local municipalities been implemented? If not, why not? The Council of Tabachwe local municipality took a resolution on the 4th of July 2017 under resolution number A63/2017 to initiate a forensic investigations after the recommendations of the MEC, who conducted an oversight on the 2015-2016 annual report, which included the AFS and AG audit report. The report of the Auditor General compelled the municipality to institute investigations on unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure incurred in previous financial year, dated back 2010-11 till 2016-17, as per the scope of work recommended by the MEC on the value of 410 million. Based on the findings, the investigation audit firm confirmed and recommended that irregular expenditures, which has supporting documents, be written off by Council of Tabachwe local municipalities, as the municipalities obtain value from this transaction as guided through Section 32(2) of the MFMA, read together with MFMA Circular number 68. Further, that irregular expenditure transactions are accounted for, the recovered from liable officials and service provider benefited. The MEC engaged rigorously on the report, taking into consideration forensic investigation report findings, and approved forensic implementation plan, ensuring that the findings are actualized. And this was evident through the progress reports tabled before Council sitting on quarterly basis during 2018 and 2019 till 2020 and till 21 financial years, whereby activities on consequence management is in respect of the affected senior officials implicated on the report. That is dismissal of the CFO, disciplinary process for other employees below their managers. The accounting officer also reported to the South African Police Services of all cases of irregular or alleged irregular expenditures that constitute a criminal offense and theft and fraud that occurred in the municipalities, and the criminal cases was lodged with SAPS during 2019-2020 financial year, and the municipality awaits progress from the law enforcement authorities. This form part of the reports I've mentioned earlier that we have since spoken to the head of the works to speed up this process, Advocate Mutibi. The MPEC recommended to council to write off an amount of 340.4 million certified as an irrecoverable through findings of the forensic investigations report subsequently ratified by council through resolutions number C4/2019. The MPEC recommended to council that the amount of 63.8 million reflecting as recoverable by the investigators be written off since the implicated senior officials were no longer within the employ of the municipality to various accounts, deceased and resigned implicated senior officials. The municipality is since able to implement the recommendations of the forensic investigations. It will continue to follow up on matters that have been reported to the law enforcement agencies. From figure 4, is the MEC aware that the Steve Tshwete local municipality undertook a resolution to reject a damning forensic report audit that was recently undertaken on the Mhluzi intake substation? Yes, I am aware. According to the report submitted to the department by the municipality in its special council sitting of 26 August 2025, the council resolved to reject the forensic audit report due to the following reasons. 1, the report be regarded as an irregular and wasteful expenditure. The report is incomplete and did not afford all stakeholders an opportunity to provide input. The stakeholders included the former municipal manager, former CFO, consultant, and the contractor. Such exclusion contradicts the spirit of natural justice, of fairness, which gives affected parties an opportunity to present their evidence on the matter. Question number 5. What is the MEC's opinion on this matter? Can a municipality do this? And if so, what is the purpose of conducting forensic investigation? We must allow the municipalities to conclude on this matter and before we make any conclusion or develop an opinion. I will not allow any wrongdoing to be condoned. Where any wrongdoing is found, I will ensure there is a consequence management. I've looked at the matter and I've interacted with that matter of Steve Tshwete for them to appoint a forensic and reject the report of the forensic report. And we have since wrote to them. We are still dealing with that matter at the moment. The department remains committed to ensure that there is a clean governance in all municipalities. Municipalities are at liberty to conduct their own investigation if there is a serious allegation of maladministration, fraud and corruption that has been brought to the attention of the municipalities. What they can do is to fake and float the process thereof. Thank you very much.
Honorable Masango, do you have a follow-up question?
Thank you, Speaker. Yes, Speaker. MEC, I think on Tuesday we spoke about the concurrence. And I just see another gap. When you, actually as the MEC, you institute a forensic audit, and then that outcome is given to the municipality, and then you are no more part of it. And it leads to, you can't complete what you have started. In actual fact, someone is deciding now on what to do. And I think we need to look at the act probably and look at what could be done to ensure that whoever institute the forensic audit, then it must be we say it must be completed by the very same people, but it can't be left to the other people to act on it. I don't know whether you agree with me on that one. Thank you, MEC.
You are indicating the gap in the Act. This is the process of legislature and also Parliament. If we identify a gap, then we need to deal with that.
Well, the issue, Honorable, as I heard the Honorable Masango well, is that what do I do when I instituted a forensic and the outcomes are not implemented? No, the outcomes of the forensic we have done are enforceable. The act is clear, we shall enforce what we have started. What we can't deal with is what they have done them, because there are spheres of government. But what we have instituted, we shall enforce it.
Any follow-up questions, Honorable Masango?
Thank you, Speaker. No, I hear you, MEC, but I just want to say to the MEC, as you said before, when there was a statement that says people are denying people to resign, but equally with this investigation, I mean, we're talking about 2016, people have left and all those things. So somewhere, somehow, we have to fast track this thing so that now we're going into 2026 and some of the people will be gone. And those forensic audit doesn't mean anything again. So we need a fast tracking mechanism on the findings before people can left the institution.
Agree.
Are there follow-up questions from other honorable members? Thank you, Honorable MEC. That brings us to the end of the sitting. You are all requested to remain standing in your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is adjourned until Friday, the 12th of December at 10 o'clock through virtual Teams platform.